We are back. So excited today to chat with our last studio partner to sign up for the Love Issue. This one came in right under the wire. We were getting ready to go to print, and Kimberly reached out to us from her studio in Florida in Fort Myers. There you are, Kimberly. I see you. Come to Life Yoga. We are going to chat with her now. Let's see if IG is going to work for us. You never know with IG Lives. We've just invited Kimberly to chat with us on our IG Live today. She is based in Fort Myers. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
I'm so relieved when it works.
I know, right? I was like, I don't know if this is working or not.
I know. How are you? Good
How
morning.
are you? Good morning.
Good. Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Kimberly Steinmetz with Come to Life Yoga in Fort Myers, Florida.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I see we have some people saying hello. This is an IG Live. We get to know our studio partners, and we are so grateful. You were the very last studio to sign up for our issue, and I was so happy to have you join us.
Thank you.
And we actually just got the print magazines on Friday, so you will be getting yours very, very soon. So thank you for supporting our publication and being part of our community. Tell us, what has it been like? I know your studio has been around since before the pandemic, since 2014. What's it been like being a yoga studio owner the last few years? I'm sure it's been quite a journey.
Yes, it's been a roller coaster, to say the least. So basically, I started the studio in 2014, and I was off College Parkway in a big building called the Atrium, which now is no longer there because we had Hurricane Irma come through. And the roof fell in. I was on the first floor, and so the whole second floor caved into the first floor. So then everybody had to leave and find new businesses because they deemed it unacceptable to even go in. It was dangerous and all kinds of issues. So it took me a few months to find another place. And then I found the place on McGregor Village where I am now, by the Big Buddha on McGregor Boulevard. It's a very famous landmark. It used to be a Chinese restaurant. So I'm back in there. So I always say, look for me finding the Buddha. And then pandemic hit, and then we were shut down. So I was shut down for a few months. All fitness studios had to be closed. So we couldn't do any live or in-person stuff. So we had to learn how to revamp things. I did a lot of videos and a lot of online FaceTime things and all kinds of stuff, because people really needed yoga, especially during that time. And we couldn't be together. So it was really different for everybody. And some people just can't do online stuff. It's just the dog, the phone, the husband, the kids, whatever. So it was very difficult for a lot of people to adjust. But we made it through that. And as soon as I could reopen, I reopened with the stickers 6 foot apart. So we all had to spread 6 foot apart so I could take less students per class. So I added more classes to accommodate that. So we learned a few more things. And then we learned to go online for payments and everything. That was actually the best thing of the pandemic, was moving everything to online. So people booked online, everything was done online. So it actually saved like 15 minutes of class time, because people weren't paying when they got there and everybody trying to settle in and make payments and this and that. It actually made things so much easier for yoga studios in that aspect. So no longer need a front desk person, all that stuff. Everything's just done by your phone now, online.
Yeah.
So that was a really great thing for that. And then things were going great, getting busy and expanding. I moved to a bigger studio so we could add more people and spread out so people were comfortable. And I even have an outdoor area now. So we can either move classes outdoors if things are going on or anything ever happens like that again. And people actually like the outdoor classes. Yeah. So it's a nice little oasis with artificial grass, and they enjoy being able to be outside once or twice a week. We do special events and all that stuff. And then we just had Ian. And my studio flooded.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So I had about 2 feet of water in the studio. But luckily, I put waterproof floors in the studio, and I put all my mirrors on a cement wall. Yeah. So when the water seeped in, it didn't go up the wall. So it saved my mirrors. And the floors were okay. I just had to spend a couple of days getting all the water out of the studio. So I was shut down for a little bit there. but we just continue to persevere. And, you know, the tribe likes their space. It's a safe haven for people to go and heal and grow and, you know, practice yoga. So we just keep persevering.
And I was going to say, in those moments, I mean, you know, every business has its journeys, right? There's so many things that happen that just you can't really plan for, right? You know, there's the things you can, but then pandemics and, you know, flooding, you know, how do you get through those moments? You know, do you have a personal mantra or a friend, or what is your go-to in those moments when things get a little bit more challenging than you would prefer?
What I do is I try to just go within and do my yoga breathing and settle myself back to center. Because I think like all of our answers are inside ourselves if we just take the time to be still. So I think these things teach us to stop all the busyness and just be still and listen to what the universe or whatever's happening around us. And I think it also brings us together as a community, because then we can help each other. And I know during this last storm, I had 3 students that were on Fort Myers Beach and one by that area of town that lost everything, like even their toothbrush. So I did a huge drive where people could just donate, drop it to the studio, and they could just come and pick out whatever they needed every week. And I made iced coffee. We would just come to the studio and sit and drink coffee together and talk about stuff. So it just allowed people to come together as a community and be still and just finding the answers together within ourselves of how to pull through. And I think that's what the yoga, all the practice of yoga, because it is a practice and it's every day different on the mat. And when we come to the mat and practice and be still, we find all the answers that we need. So I think the yoga all the years prepared us for these moments, the pandemic, the hurricanes, all that stuff. So I think all the days of practicing yoga is what has prepared us for these kind of moments.
And I love having these conversations because I think there is a little bit of a misconception for people that don't know that yoga is just, you know, asana, you know, but it really is so much more. And I think the pandemic just reminded us that it is building communities that can literally weather any storm, right? So we're building these communities that people can go to for everything, not just for their physical and their mental, but just to be together, you know?
It's a community and we help each other. And they didn't have anybody to help them. They had nobody. They were here by themselves, the 3 of them, single women, and needed help. And we just pulled together and we helped them, you know, got them whatever they needed, sunscreen, you know, because they had to clean up their stuff around their house to get things. They needed sun shirts, sunscreen. I had a client from Michigan that's seasonal that just shipped a bunch of sunscreen shirts and clothing and things for them, after sun gel, you know, all those things that they needed just to do their own cleanup to get to the stuff that they had left. So it was really eye-opening, and it makes you just appreciate every day, you know, because like I say, in yoga, life's a gift. Every day is different. It can change in an instant. So we just have to focus on our yoga breathing, coming to stillness, you know, and coming together, helping community. I also tried to help all the other local small businesses like myself by doing events together. So like I joined with different places to do events together to bring people to their business too, like soap making and yoga at the soap place, and, you know, coffee and yoga at the coffee place, you know, whatever we could do to just bring community together. So everybody just got a little uplift that, you know, things are going to work out. They'll be okay if we just, you know, team up together as a community.
And it also offers perhaps someone that may not have tried a yoga class, who might be at the coffee shop. Oh, look, this is here. This is available. Maybe I'll try it now. And so I love that it's offered in different spaces. The studio is a beautiful space to always have a class, but as we've learned and as we know, you can do it anywhere. You can do it in a coffee shop, in your living room, you know, in the hallway if you have to. It really is something that can be done literally anywhere you need to do it.
Yes, that's what I like to do, is to reach out to other businesses and share our business, because we're all in the same community together. So I think it helps each other out, especially through difficult times.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was like when you attended your very first yoga class? Do you remember that experience?
Oh, yes. Very well. Yes. I was tugged and pulled there by a friend. So I was really wanting to go because I was a triathlete and I was in that adrenaline rush, junkie workout type person, you know? So I was like, oh, I got to be still and I got to lay there and, you know, how am I going to do this, you know? And I ended up loving it. It was actually a Bikram class. And so I got a little bit of that intensity that I was used to, but the stillness is what I really needed in my life at that time. Mm-hmm. So it taught me how to be still. I used to get yelled at for fidgeting and savasana, you know, all that stuff, wiping my face or playing with my hair, you know, because I couldn't be still. Mm-hmm. And then I learned eventually, I love my savasanas now. I don't think about anything. I no longer think of my to-do list and all the things that I used to think about in savasana. Now I just actually get to meditate and lay there, listen to the birds or whatever, which I realized that, you know, I didn't even hear the birds. I was that busy in my life that when I noticed the birds singing in savasana one day outside, I was like, oh my goodness, like how tuned out was I, you know? Yeah. So the yoga brought me to tune back in, you know, to the world, to life, to myself. Yeah. And it's been a wonderful experience the past 9 years. I've been practicing since 2009. So I practiced 5 years before I even became a teacher. Wow. I was a hygienist. Yeah. So, and all jacked up in my back from that job. So it was hard to do yoga because I had back and shoulder issues from my job. Yeah. So straightened all that out after about 5 years of yoga and then decided to share it with other people and become a teacher. And now I teach yoga. I teach sound healing trainings and all kinds of stuff. So not just yoga, all different kinds of yoga. Yeah. I got my 500 RYT during COVID to just, you know, learn things. I was bored and I needed something to do. Right. So I ended up learning more so I can teach different yogas too. And it's been a wonderful experience.
When you made that transition from, you know, yoga student, then to yoga teacher, and then to studio owner, what was that like? What surprised you the most? That's a lot of transitions to make. What was the thing that really surprised you?
I would say that what surprised me the most is that I was doing something that I didn't love doing prior to doing yoga. And I was doing more things that were actually hurting me physically and mentally. Mm-hmm. So I think the yoga brought that all together. Mm-hmm. And then I was able to use what I did in my other businesses to create a yoga studio in an environment where people can be safe and like have a safe haven with no judgment, and they can go grow and heal no matter what aspects of the life that they're in, because there's different seasons we all go through in life, and that they have a safe place to go to. Yeah. So I think the surprising part was how easy the transition was, because it was something I was falling in love with. Like I was really enjoying the experience of just being able to do something and share with it with someone else that may help them and their life and experience through my experiences of the changes. Yeah. So and it was a big change from being a dental hygienist to studio owner. Wow. So yeah, totally different clientele, because dental they don't want to be in your chair. Yeah. The yoga students want to be on their yoga mat. They want to be there. So it was definitely a different experience with people coming in and how they felt when they were coming to me. So it was a different transition for me, handling it as a client to, you know, instructor, or like I was their, you know, dental hygienist. Yeah. It was a different experience, you know, when the students would come to me.
And it's so true, because how do you say, I mean, when you go into the dentist's office, you know, usually that energy coming towards you is probably like cringing, right? It's a little bit like, even though you're there to like actually cure people and make them better, you know, people are scared and they're frightful. But when they enter a yoga studio, hopefully they're a little more relaxed, maybe a little more inquisitive. Yes. And it's such a different energy that's also coming at you now as a person. So that was really good.
Yeah, so that was the biggest changes, was that different energy and the transition of that. But I realized how much I enjoyed it, you know, because I do love helping people. That's why I became a dental hygienist, was to help people. And then the same thing, being a yoga teacher, I can help, you know, students learn physically and mentally how to change their life. So, and it keeps them healthy. Yoga keeps your body healthy.
How has your personal practice changed? I mean, when you practice over many years, you started mostly with a Bikram style practice. Has it changed in terms of what you do, or how much you meditate or don't, or your asana style?
I would say that, you know, Hatha is always going to be in my heart, because that's what I learned. I learned that Hatha flow, which I love, and that's what healed my body, because I was very sick at the time, and wasn't able to eat different things. So the yoga is what cured all that. So I keep some of those Hatha poses in every class I do, just because I know what they do to the organs and how they work the organs. And then I mix in some vinyasa so they can get some movement, breath work, and flow, get some upper body stuff and things like that. So I do kind of a hatha vinyasa combination, which really seems to work for people for anxiety and also help our internal health. All of our organs get a tune up, as I say.
Right.
You're getting organ tune up in there, and the hatha is what helps that, you know. So I truly believe in the hatha. We do yin, restore. Now I do sound healing. All that stuff I incorporate. But I do believe hatha is the background to yoga as for healing, you know, physically and mentally.
Yeah. Have you noticed, what have you noticed in terms of your community? Has what they're sort of drawn to changed at all? Are they always wanting to go to the same classes? Do you find that the same classes are usually full and people like gravitate towards them more, or is it pretty even in terms of your offerings?
I think that I think people want variety. So they want the different yogas. They want all, like, I know my students, they want their power flow, but yet they want their restorative class. So they come different days of the week to get different things. So I offer different things. I'm open 7 days a week so they can get their power, they can get their yin, they can get their restore, they can get their sound healing. You know, there's even chair yoga for the people that have injuries or rehabilitating or just trying to start yoga, the older community here. They still have an opportunity to try yoga. So there's so many different things on the schedule for people. We even have mommy and me classes to introduce children to yoga. So we really have a variety for people to, you know, kind of have a whole place to go for all the different types of yoga. So I think that doing the same yoga over and over again, yes, you can get benefits to that and experience that. But I think there's so many different levels of yoga that you can experience at different seasons in your life. You know, like today, my class this morning was supposed to be a power vinyasa class, and the students came in, and there's a full moon going on. People didn't sleep, and I could feel the vibe in the room, and I could feel the energy. And I was like, you know what, guys, what's everybody feeling today? Are we feeling restorative yoga today? Because that's what I'm feeling, the vibe in the room. And they're like, oh my gosh, would that be great? Can we just do it? So, I mean, you have to take every day different in yoga and feel the vibe of the room. If you feel that energy coming in, they want to be there, they want to get their yoga in, but maybe they don't need that power class that morning. So I listen to the room and I try to feel the energy and listen to my students. And I always ask before class, how's everybody feeling today? What does everybody feel they need? And if they all say, some days it's all hips. Okay, well, we're doing hip poses today. I'll incorporate more hip stuff. You know? These are like, we just need that power class. Okay, so we're doing more flow. So I try to listen to the students.
And I love that you offer, as you mentioned, from mommy to me. So very small, you know, the chair yoga. And, you know, chair yoga, I love chair yoga. And chair yoga,
the workout.
It's really, you know, but it does, you know, if you're older and have less mobility, or if you have an injury, or if you just want the benefit of chair yoga, which there are so many benefits. So you offer this range from just ages, which is amazing. And I love that that's being offered, and that's little babies can do yoga. That's so exciting to me, that it's just so cute. It is the cutest thing ever. It's just the most
so cute.
Yeah.
And they drop into their down dog, they get all excited. You know, it's just so cute to see them, and they're learning to breathe, and you see them. I even have a student that one day at breakfast, he said to his mom, he says, Kim says that I'm supposed to have patience the rest of the day, because that's how I end the class. It's now that we can have patience for the rest of the day from our yoga today. So even at 6 years old, he got that. And he was sitting there before school saying, yeah, now I need to have patience for school today, you know? So you don't realize the kids are really picking up on the stuff that we're teaching them, either in a yoga class or whatever, that they really do pick up on what we're saying. And they're like little sponges. Yeah, cute.
Anything coming up, Kim, that you're excited about? Any new workshops, any retreats that are coming up that you want to share with us?
Yes, every July I do retreats in Key West. One of them's already sold out, but I do weekend retreats so they can take the Key West Express over, or they can come down, and we do yoga on the beach, we do sound healing in the park, and then they get some free time. So that's all coming up in July. And then I'm doing sound healing training. They want to learn how to play a bowl, play it for their family member, or play it for themselves, or use it as in a business, in a wellness place. They're finding out sound healing is like the wave of the future. They're even finding under like the microscope a cancer cell versus a regular cell. They play the sound healing. The cancer cell tries to convert back to a regular cell. So they're even using it in cancer centers now, and it's becoming a huge way to heal yourself internally. because sound, vibration, we're all energy and sound.
Yeah.
And it's moving through your body and fixing things. Had a lady with vertigo, it's helped her vertigo. So I have a sound healing training coming up Memorial Day weekend, and also in July in the Keys. So if anybody wants to learn sound healing,
that's
they
amazing.
can for themselves, family member, or to use as a business in their wellness center.
And I love that you're offering that. I was recently in Sedona at the Sedona Yoga Festival, and I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and we said there isn't a lot of sound healing workshops. Like, there are a lot of practitioners, but you don't see it offered a lot as a teaching or other people to learn. So I'm excited that you're offering that.
Yeah, because some people have no clue and they're scared of the bowl. They're like, oh, I don't even know if I should touch it. It'll break, you know? So once you teach them and you show them how it works, and you talk about the different notes and the chakras, they get all excited about it to learn the knowledge, you know, because I think knowledge is important to learn, you know, what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what it's doing for you. So people are curious. So yes, and it's accredited through the CMA, so it's an accredited course, and you can also get continuing education hours with the Yoga Alliance, and yoga teachers get a discount to learn. So it's just something to add to their repertoire to help people.
And it's a weekend event, so that people just, if they wanted to just come down for the weekend, they could do that as well.
Yes.
Amazing. Is there anyone, Kim, that you want to give a shout out to that's, you know, really supported you and your studio and your community? Anyone that you want to just give a like special hello and say thank you?
Trying to think, gosh, there's so many people that help me out in the community. My neighbor, actually, Julie, she owns Behind the Buddha. It's a little art studio, and it's been a wonderful support, and she's always referring people, and we do like special events together where people can do yoga and paint or things like that. And she's just been a wonderful support through the hurricanes in the area and the community. Wonderful person.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us today. And
thank you for having me.
Being a part of our community. You will be getting a box of 40 magazines for your community very soon. And we only exist because of businesses like you who support us and help us do what we love. The theme of this issue is love. So we hope that everyone will enjoy the love down in Fort Myers, Florida. Thank you so much for joining us today. I will upload this to our YouTube and send you the link as well so you can have it.
Awesome.
Thank
you.
Take care.
You have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.